Hi, this is Mark from Better Photos, and today I'm in the Northern Lake District near Thirlmere at a place called Squirrels, or just above Squirrels car park. I'm trying to get some shots of red squirrels this morning, so let's head up there now. From Squirrels car park, you basically follow the trail that's indicated by these small signs with red squirrels on them. There's various of them dotted along the route, and it's heading into the woods you might just be able to see behind. So basically look for the squirrel markers, follow the trail, and that'll lead you to where we're going to get some good shots of red squirrels, fingers crossed. So followed the short trail from Squirrels car park, and I'm now on the edge of the woods that we're going to head into to try to get some photographs of red squirrels. Before I head into the woods, what I'd like to do is just tell you a little bit about the equipment that I'll be using. First of all, the camera. This is my backup camera. It's a 20D. The other camera that I use all the time is the one that I'm filming this video with. The lens is a lens that I use for wildlife photography. It's a 100 to 400 image stabilised lens, the Pro Spec Canon lens. Really good bit of kit. The settings I'll be using, I'm aiming to open the aperture as wide as I can, so around about f4, f5.6. I'll be setting the camera shoot mode to multi-burst mode to get lots of quick shots, and I'll be aiming to get a very high shutter speed, or a relatively high shutter speed of somewhere in the region of a 500th of a second to prevent blur of the images or the squirrels as they're moving around a little bit. So that will help freeze motion. Now, because it's quite dark in here, what I'll have to do is move the ISO up. So for example, it's currently set on 100 ISO, but for every doubling of ISO I'll get a doubling of shutter speed. So I'm going to have to work on that to try to get a fast enough shutter speed to capture the motion of the squirrels. So I'm on the edge of the squirrel reserve now, and there's some useful information on this notice board that explains that squirrels are under threat. The red squirrel is under threat from the grey squirrel, which was introduced in the sort of 1870s or so from America. The grey squirrel is much bigger and much more dominant, and it outcompetes the red for food, and it also passes on a virus which kills red squirrels. So spotting red squirrels is becoming more and more difficult, and places like this give you the best opportunity of seeing them up close. So I've moved to a more open area of the woodland. I was in a sort of darker, denser patch before, but the camera settings weren't really suitable. Even at my widest aperture and the high ISOs, I wasn't getting fast enough shutter speeds. Not that I've seen a red squirrel yet, but just the very fact that the light levels were low meant that I wanted to get into a sort of more open area. Plus I wanted to get a better view of the woods, and where I'm sat at the moment I get sort of 360 degree views around. So just to show you what I mean, just sort of panning left and get some reasonable views of the woodland. And there's a really likely looking tree here that I think could well be a good spot for red squirrels. Just there, just coming into shot now on the left, and I'm hoping that we might spot one or two on there. There are some feeders around on the trees, so they are used to coming down for food here. It's just a little bit later than I'd normally like to get here. It's around about 10 o'clock in the morning now, and I'd really want to be here at dawn to get the best chance of spotting wildlife. We haven't seen any red squirrels or any other wildlife apart from birds this morning, but did want to point out that there are a few tracks on the muddy paths here, and this one is just a faint outline of a roe deer track. You can just see this is the back of the track. It's a hoof print, and a pointed end here, split into two sort of lobes, and there are quite a few roe deer in the wood. First thing in the morning is the best time to see them, and there are also some red deer not too far away from here as well. This is a squirrel feeder, and this is what attracts the squirrels to the area. Well, it would do if there was any food in any of them. That's probably the reason why I haven't seen any red squirrels this morning, because the feeders in this particular reserve, this part of the reserve, seem to be empty, and they're also fallen into disrepair as well. This is meant to have a front on, but it's disappeared or been blown off or whatever. And the idea is that this is filled with hazelnuts or peanuts, and the squirrels come down and lift this little lid and get to the nuts inside. You might just notice some scratches on the top there where the squirrels have come down and scratched it with the claws, but it's empty, it's in disrepair, and probably the reason why we haven't seen any red squirrels this morning. So unfortunately no photographs of any red squirrels. We haven't even seen any red squirrels, but that's just the way it goes. That's wildlife photography for you. Just got to be thankful that you're out in such beautiful surroundings and that you've escaped the rat race for a while. And don't forget, there's always another day. Okay, back to the car.